Advent with Pope Francis, Week 4. The liturgy for today, the fourth and last Sunday of Advent, is characterized by the theme of closeness, God's closeness to humanity. The Gospel passage from Matthew shows us two people who, more than anyone else, were involved in this mystery of love, the Virgin Mary and her husband Joseph. A mystery of love, the mystery of God's closeness to humanity. Mary is presented in the light of the prophet who says, "Behold, a virgin shall conceive and bear a son." Matthew the evangelist recognizes that this happened in Mary, who conceived Jesus through the Holy Spirit. The Son of God comes into her womb in order to become man, and she welcomes him. Thus, in a unique way, God drew near to mankind, taking on flesh through a woman. God drew near to us, took on flesh through a woman. To us, too, in a different way, God draws near, with his grace in order to enter our life and offer us the gift of his Son. What do we do? Do we welcome him? Let him draw near? Or do we reject him, push him away? As Mary, freely offering herself to the Lord of history, allowed him to change the destiny of mankind, so too can we, by welcoming Jesus and seeking to follow him each day, cooperate in his salvific plan for us and for the world. Mary thus appears to us as a model to look to and upon, whose support we can count in our search for God, in closeness to God, and thus allowing God to draw close to us, and in our commitment to build the culture of love. In accepting Mary, Joseph knowingly and lovingly receives him who has been conceived in her through the wondrous work of God, for whom nothing is impossible. Joseph, a just and humble man, teaches us to always trust in God, who draws near to us. When God approaches us, we must entrust ourselves to him. Joseph teaches us to allow ourselves to be guided by him with willing obedience. These two figures, Mary and Joseph, who were the first to welcome Jesus through faith, introduce us to the mystery of Christmas. Mary helps us to assume an attitude of openness in order to welcome the Son of God into our concrete life, in our flesh. Joseph spurs us to always seek God's will and to follow it with full trust. Both allow God to draw near to them. Behold, a virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and his name shall be called Emmanuel, which means God with us. Thus the angel says, "The child shall be called Emmanuel," which means God with us. In other words, God near to us. And to God who draws near, do I open the door? To the Lord, when I sense an interior inspiration, when I hear him ask me to do something more for others, when he calls me to pray? God is with us, God who draws near. This message of hope, which is fulfilled at Christmas, leads to fulfillment of the expectation of God in each one of us too, in all the church, and in the many little ones whom the world scorns, but whom God also loves, and to whom God draws near. From the Angelus of Pope Francis, December 2016.